CID branch Dimapur apprehends one person and seizes 120 grams of cocaine at NRL petrol pump Purana Bazaar, Dimapur. Notably, CID branch Dimapur, after receiving a reliable information of a drug peddler trying to dispose of drugs in Dimapur, deploys personnel in town area whereabout at 12 hours. The situation of Old Sevak Road is no different than the other major roads of Dimapur, with potholes turning into as small ponds during rainy seasons. So the youth of the locality have taken an innovative step to highlight the issue in form of organizing an angling competition in these potholes. BJP is set to hold its national executive meeting in Hyderabad on July 2 and 3. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah, Party President JP Nadda, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and a host of other members of the BJP National Executive is set to participate in the meeting. The union government notifies that the appointment of Wasim Sadiq Nargal as judge. Notably, this decision paves way for the first Muslim judge from Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh High Court. After countless days of testimonies, popular American actor Johnny Depp wins a high-profile defamation case between him and his ex-wife Amber Heard. Depp sues Heard for $50 million after she wrote an op-ed for the Washington Post in 2018. Welcome to Naga Nltv. You're watching Nltv News Now. I'm Yashira and now the news in detail. It is no longer a surprise that only few hours of rainfall is enough for Dimapur roads to get inundated. The situation of Old Sevak Road is no different than the other major roads of Dimapur, with potholes turning into as small ponds during rainy seasons. Even after making several appeals to the authorities, the people have not received due attention. So the youth of the locality have taken an innovative step to highlight the issue in form of organizing an angling competition, these potholes, on Wednesday. The youths organized the event on the road connecting the education hub like Pranabandananda Women's College and the Faith Hospital. Every year during rainy season, people who ply on the road have been facing problems due to apathy of administration. Especially the staffs of hospital and students of the college who need to take the road on daily basis have been facing the menace. The public, expressing unhappiness over the negligence of municipal authorities, have demanded government to pay attention to their problems and take steps to repair the road at the earliest.
Itu rasta patient hande ahena yate bishi complain kore na mahande kilo gole rasta iman biase to karne auto wala khan bi mahan lode na jay aro kicha night duty khotom hoina na aishe gole to mahan korte jawo inga khan no hole bi gorba yate ahebo gole to tai khan ba rasta biase inga na jawo inga khan aro mahan bi auto ba scooty ba ja time de no hole bi bike khan ba jaile bi yate kire inga khan hoina na bishi inga rasta to problem ase.
Okay, so one itu initiative law do like it's been around any 2-3 years so you can say itu rasta na bana to mon yete tagala concern youths kan mon to upai nai to mon to youth kan ge any olop kiwa kurwo diwo karne mon angling competition rakhi na ase so as you can see any youths bishi any participate kore ase and it's going well to any like mon appeal kuru le mon ja to the main concern that mon itu ina kura to like rastai nai gari nohi na manu bi berau na pare to itu garne to the concerned authority itu any look up kuri na itu olop balra banai di se koile khushi pabo ko na janai di ase. Yeah, mon it's like last year November December ina de tagije to with the Citrine Associates mon ra itu manukun ba khange like itu the nam to nako but then we spoke to some people who are like yete in charge saka khan itu ange to but then tahan ko to itu rasta do mon nijo do na banawi koise we tried itu any yete rasta sob ja to mon stone gravel itu kan bara ini cover up kuri bole bhabi thakise, but then they didn't give us the NOC. So itu to kun ke blame kurbo kun ke na kurbo itu to mohan bi ko na paru. But then ini itu to moila message ekta ase manusop ke like apni khan ini kuna kurbo koile bi you just be frank with that, because mohan nisna ini manu khan bi ini we want to do something for the society, but then they are.
The Nagaland Pradesh Congress Committee has demanded dismissal of the United Democratic Alliance government, charging that Nagaland legislators are overstepping their role as facilitator and jumping beyond their assigned role by making bewildering statement on Naga solution. Addressing a press conference today at Congress Bhavan, NPCC President K. Therry pointed out that his party expected Nagaland Chief Minister will deny the allegation. However, Chief Minister Nltv not said anything and has been silent so far. Therry also said that he, along with the party officials, will be submitting a memorandum to the governor today demanding dismissal of the state government for the violation of the Constitution of India. Therry also accused Rio government of having no concrete agenda for solution for the last 25 years, and their inner mind is to survive together without settlement. Taking a dig, NPCC went on to say that NSCN-IM is running the state government and not UDA.
I'm going to submit to the governor, and therefore I would like to inform the people of Nagaland that this government is no more people's government, but is acting under the directive and playing a role of facilitator as assigned by NSCN-IM. Therefore, I am demanding the dismissal of this government to facilitate, implement the political solution. For us, we respect all the neighboring states, but we don't like to involve in this type of issues. The issue pertains to Nagaland. We're talking about Nagaland. Why should it be dragged to another state? Why should we have console another state? If it is an issue of encroachment, or if it is an issue that interstate need to be consulted, it's a different thing. But the political solution is about Nagaland, since sovereignty and integration question are ruled out. What is givable by the government of India, what is acceptable by the people are known. And therefore, it's a deliberate delay. He made a statement that he wanted one solution. Cannot be two solutions. How can you make one solution for several states?
At a time when speculations about possible breakdown of Naga peace talks is in the air, the core committee on the Naga issue is going to sit with NSCN-IM leaders on June 2. This was disclosed before media by the member secretary of the core committee and Minister Neba Kronu on Tuesday. Notably, following a highly anticipated meeting between the core committee and the NSCN-IM in Dimapur on May 28, core committee urged the latter to continue with the negotiations despite the apparent deadlock over flag and constitution. Meanwhile, Nagaland Chief Minister Nltv, despite the recent intense talks on Tuesday, said that the state government is talking to everybody. Speaking to journalists on the sidelines of an event in Kohima, he said the core committee is acting as facilitators and cannot voice anything. Rio went on to say that they have to see that all come into understanding, and the Nagaland government is working hard for that. Replying to a query about the recent parliamentary core committees meeting with the NSCN-IM leaders in Chumukadima, Rio said that they have advised NSCN-IM to continue the negotiations. Government of the People's Republic of Nagaland Ministry of Kilo Affairs on Wednesday issued a press release stating that Nagas are in the process of entering into a final agreement with the Government of India, which will be decisive battle for the Nagas. NSCN-IM further stated victory will ensure a safe national future, while defeat would prove to be pivotal for every Naga and also stated that an amicable and honorable solution is sought after without betraying the core principle of the NSCNIM. NSCNIM further reminded that the people of Nagaland and the government of India that any kind of agreement that betrays the principle is no solution. Following the Nagaland government's order for closure of check gates in the state, so far 21 check gates out of 34 have been closed down, with only 13 interstate check gates operating at this moment. This was informed during a media interaction by the Chief Secretary J. Alam on Wednesday. West State Home Commissioner Abhijit Sinha and DGP T. John Longkumar were also present to give an overview of the issue. Alam informed that DCs of all the districts and other officials have gone to check various check gates to oversee the closure of the check gates. He also said that the 2 phone numbers are operating 24/7 with abled and dedicated officers, and therefore made an ardent appeal to the public to give information about any illegal taxation or collection. DJP Nagaland John Longkumar said the order for closure of check gates was enforced from 20th May. He also informed that so far 8 complaints were received and 6 complaints were found to be actionable. 6 FIRs were lodged in different police stations and investigations are going on. He appealed to all the people to cooperate with the security force and inform the police at the earliest of any illegal activities. CID branch Dimapur on Wednesday apprehended 1 person and seized 120 grams of cocaine at NRL petrol pump Purana Bazar, Dimapur. Notably, after receiving an reliable information of a drug peddler trying to dispose of drugs in Dimapur, CID branch Dimapur deployed personnel in town area whereabout at 12 hours. The branch stated that one unknown person travelling in an auto rickshaw towards Dimapur moved suspiciously in a hurry. As such, one of the sources took a photo of the unidentified person and shared it. Further, on reaching NRL petrol pump Purana Bazar, he was stopped and on search of his person, one red color black bag was found, and on search of his bag, 10 boxes of suspected heroin was recovered, weighing around 120 grams in total. The unknown person was later identified as Jockey Thapa, aged 25 years, residing on land tax in PNA 6 Mile, Chumukadima. Furthermore, the branch stated that the apprehended person along with the recovered and the seized drug has been handed over to the East Police Station, Dimapur, and to register a case under relevant section of the law. Combined Technical Association of Nagaland has filed a rejoinder against the 5 alleged illegal appointments of Forester 1 on June 23, 2017. The association has been pressurizing the government to terminate the 5 illegal appointments since December 3, 2019. The association has also sent a representation to the government on the 1st of June 2022 and filed a case against the person responsible for the alleged illegal appointments. It is to be mentioned that the association set a deadline to the government to terminate the 5 appointments on or before May 31st, to give which the government has turned a deaf ear. It is also to be mentioned that the association have resolved to hold a peaceful sit-in protest outside the Directorate office. Nagaland Chief Secretary J. Alam was called upon by the team of officials from Japan Embassy and Japan International Cooperation Agency to discuss various developmental projects in Nagaland on Wednesday. The meeting has been held at the Civil Secretariat Kohima in Chief Secretary's conference room. During the discussion, Alam assured all necessary assistance as required by the visiting delegations in implementing various developmental projects in the state. Meanwhile, the projects discussed in the meeting included Smart City Kohima, Medical College Kohima, the establishment of Eco Park, plastic waste management, water harvesting, plantation of trees, disaster management and promoting better road connectivity. Notably, the visiting delegations also urged the Nagaland government to lift certain restrictions for easy transferring of the mortal remains of Japanese soldiers. It is to be mentioned that the objective of the Japan International Cooperation Agency is to contribute to the promotion of international cooperation by contributing to the development of the economy and society and economic stability of overseas regions. The flood situation in some parts of Assam continued to be under fury of flood. 2 persons were reported to have died in Kachar district on Wednesday, which took the death toll to 38. Out of the 38 deaths, 5 were due to landslide. Meanwhile, Kachar, Dima Hasao, Kamrup, Morigaon and Nagaon continue to be affected by flood. As per the Assam State Disaster Management Authority report, at least 1,01,926 people, including 22,073 children, are still being affected by the flood. In addition, at least 171 villages were affected by the floods as of June 1. Furthermore, 7 relief camps and 5 relief distribution centers are still operational in the state, housing a total of 2,560 inmates. The president of Nagaland Tribes Council, Tony Ho Yepthomi, maintained that the destiny of Nagas of Nagaland should never be allowed to be decided by outsiders as long as the integration of land is not possible. Delivering the presidential address during the NTC General Council session on May 31, Yepthomi assured that NTC will never step back from responsibilities on this issue, mentioning that numerous issues are still confronting the people of Nagaland. Yepthomi states that one such major issue is vexed Naga political problem, which is following the Nagas for over 70 years. Now, therefore, NTC President called for supporting one another until the goal for an inclusive, honorable and acceptable solution was reached for a lasting peace. Tony Ho further said that NTC was formed due to unavoidable situation and circumstances at a time when the Nagas were experiencing a negative trend of self-destruction and confusion all around. The NTC further claimed that NTC had been representing the people before the authorities concerned at the central and state levels on all these issues. Mortal remains of singer Krishna Kumar Kunnath, popularly known as KK, was brought to his residence in Mumbai on Thursday morning. Notably, the last rites of the singer, who passed away on Tuesday night, will be performed in Mumbai today. It is to be mentioned that KK fell ill while performing at an event in Kolkata on May 31 and was shifted to the hospital, where he was declared dead. Meanwhile, West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee on Wednesday paid her last respects to the singer, while the state government accorded him a gun salute for the deceased singer at the Cultural Centre Rabindra Sadan. Kolkata police has registered a case of unnatural death in connection with the sudden demise of the singer. BJP is set to hold its national executive meeting in Hyderabad on July 2 and 3. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah, Party President JP Nadda, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and a host of other members of the BJP National Executive is set to participate in the meeting. Notably, the leaders are likely to discuss on the upcoming elections of Himachal Pradesh and Gujarat along with other important agendas. The Enforcement Directorate on Wednesday summoned the Congress interim President Sonia Gandhi and her son Rahul Gandhi to appear before it on June 8 in connection with a money laundering case related to the National Herald newspaper. The Congress said that the summons was received just a few days ago and Sonia would 100% appear before the ED. Meanwhile, Congress spokesperson Abhishek Singhvi also said that Rahul Gandhi is yet to return to the country from London and that he will seek some time. It is to be mentioned that the summons by the ED is linked to a 9-year-old complaint by Subramaniam Swamy against the Congress president and Rahul Gandhi. Notably, Swamy had accused the Congress president and his son of forming a shell company and illegally gaining control of properties worth Rs 300 million. Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao extended greetings to the people of Telangana on its 8th Formation Day. Rao remarked that the formation has been possible due to sacrifices made by the people and that it was built with the same spirit. He further added that Telangana progressed and stood as a role model for the country. It may be noted that Telangana was officially formed on June 2, 2014 and the day is celebrated as Telangana Day or Telangana Formation Day. The union government on Wednesday appointed Wasim Sadiq Nargal as a judge in the Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh High Court. Notably, this decision paved way from the first Muslim judge from Jammu and in the J&K and Ladakh High Court. The government also cleared the oldest pending recommendation of the Supreme Court Collegium to the centre. It may be mentioned that Nargal's name was first cleared by the J&K High Court Collegium in August 2017 and later recommended by the Supreme Court Collegium in April 2018. Air India on Wednesday reduced the age of voluntary retirement to 40 from 55 and announced cash incentive. The decision was taken in a bid to encourage a significant section of its employees to voluntarily retire. Airline stated that according to the existing regulations of Air India, permanent employees can avail voluntary retirement if they are of 55 years of age or more and they have worked in the carrier for 20 years. In addition, employees who apply for voluntary retirement between June 1 and June 30 will also receive incentive over and above compensation amount. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Wednesday met Nikhat Zareen, Manisha Mon and Parveen Huda, the women boxers who won medals at the World Boxing Championships last month. Notably, India won a gold and 2 bronze medals at the recently concluded championships. Furthermore, Modi, taking down to Twitter, mentioned that they had an excellent conversations on their life journeys, including passion towards sports and life. Croatia's Marin Cilic smashed 33 aces past 7th-seeded Andrei Rublev to reach his first French Open semi-final on Wednesday with a 5-7, 6-3, 6-4, 3-6, 7-6 win. Meanwhile, Cilic has become the first Croatian to reach all 4 Grand Slam semi-finals. Cilic, the 2014 US Open champion, will play either 8th-seeded Casper Ruud of Norway or Danish teenager Holger Rune for a place in Sunday's final. That is all for now. Keep watching Nagaland TV for more news and updates.
Hey, you haven't started yet?
It's very low quality water tank.
Just shut up, the shopkeeper has given us 5 years of guarantee.
Or forget 5 years, drinking water from this tank can be very dangerous. Inside surface is also not plain, smooth and pure white. Why don't you do one thing? Install a Nipko Taj water tank.
Just keep quiet. Fix it.
Forget it.